Please welcome on stage Mr. Daniel Charity.
So that's me. That's every law student in the world. That is all we do, isn't it? Read until our eyes go numb? Not exactly. True, my eyesight is getting a lot worse, but as Lady Justice knows, you can't do justice until you've heard both sides of the argument. So maybe the assumption that law students spend all their time reading books doesn't do us justice. So what I'm about to show you will hopefully challenge your preconceptions about these bookworms. I'll start with a question. What do these three things have in common? This lovely little pet cat, a lovely bowl of fried chicken, and a lovely European Union.
Nigel Farage ate them all.
Hey! So, I'll give you a clue. You're close. They've all been the subject of myths about human rights laws, and Nigel Farage knows exactly what I'm talking about by myths. According to our press and some politicians, you couldn't deport a Bolivian man because of his pet cat. A burglar was given fried chicken in a negotiation with the police. And as for the European Union, apparently that's where law students start tearing their hair out because they had nothing to do with the European Union. Most of our rights come from the European Convention on Human Rights, but, you know, Nigel doesn't really care for the truth. This is where Rights Info comes in. Rights Info is a charity set up with the aim of celebrating the way human rights protect us in our daily lives by writing about them in an engaging, plain English style. And I work for them. And this is one of our most popular pieces. Here we meet our friends, the pet cat, the fried chicken, and the European Union. This piece explained, as I said earlier, because I got the order of my slides wrong, that the European Union doesn't give us our rights. It's the European Convention on Human Rights that gives us most of our rights. And the pet cat had nothing to do with the Bolivian man who couldn't be deported, but Theresa May said it did, so everyone believed her. And so here we have the European Union, and in fact, Winston Churchill was the man who most advocated the European Convention on Human Rights. So the idea that these rights are somehow un-British or foreign is a misconception that's gone unchallenged for far too long. But you're probably all wondering at this point, that's great, but what's it all got to do with me? Well, it's a good question. And hopefully, when the slide turns to the next slide, I'll be able to talk to you about it, maybe a little bit more. Once you actually start to scratch beneath the surface of the negative headlines you may have read about human rights laws, you might actually start to see that they have a huge impact on the way people can challenge the greatest injustices in our society. Let me give you an example. Hillsborough, 1989. 96 people died that day. And ever since then, their families have fought against a campaign of misinformation and slander. And it's only recently that they've been able to get justice for the people who died in that tragedy. Because of this thing here, the Human Rights Act 1998. This guarantees that whenever there's a violation of human rights, as there unquestionably was at Hillsborough, the state is under a duty to conduct a full and frank investigation. And this is where Rights Info comes in again. My point is that you don't have to be a law student to know the truth about human rights. You can read our explainers, our articles, our videos, our infographics. And at Rights Info, we're also trying to do the impossible. We're trying to bring our courts and our judges into the 21st century. I don't know if Lord Bingham had Twitter, but if he did, he'd probably be delighted that this quote was one of our tweets of the week last year. And he'd also probably be delighted to know that he's sharing a platform with Russell Brand. Probably. Anyway. But the thing about these quotes of the week is you may have seen them pop up on your social media. The thing is they're really, really easy to share. And that really spreads awareness for the message we're trying to get out from Rights Info. And if this isn't the law and judges in the 21st century, I didn't plant this slide in because someone mentioned Lego earlier on, then I don't know what is. Don't know if the idea of Lego courts will catch on. I'm certainly geeky enough to think it's a great idea. But when we're not making Lego courts at Rights Info, we're doing wonderful work like this explainer of the Brexit Article 50 ruling. This was in the High Court. You may have heard something about the appeal. Someone had to put it into plain English. Somebody. So there's me blowing my own trumpet again. But in all seriousness, I am very proud of the work I do for Rights Info, and it's really shown me that doing a law degree doesn't have to be all about reading textbooks. So maybe that'll be my textbook one day. If I can show people that you don't have to pay £9,000 a year to study law in order to learn the truth about human rights, then I'll feel like I've got value for money from my degree. And that sounds like a great achievement to me. So thank you very much for listening.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can see others on the Bettakultcha YouTube channel. Subscribe now and you'll be notified when new ones are uploaded.